Chances are, if you clicked on this video, it means that you have played the smash hit PlayStation 1 game, Spyro the Dragon. You've more than likely traveled to all of the homeworlds to defeat hordes of gnorcs in order to free your trapped dragon comrades and reclaim all of the stolen treasure from nasty Gnorc. Playing as Spyro, you become the big hero by restoring peace and prosperity to the land. But what if that wasn't the case? What if we were all lied to in the opening sequence and it was actually the dragons who were the bad guys in this game? I know it sounds a bit absurd, but if you really analyze the game, it will make more sense. Come with me as I delve into why the dragons are actually the antagonists in Spyro the Dragon. What first got me thinking about this topic was the homeworlds themselves. I found it strange that in the intro video of the game, the dragon can't remember if there's 5 or 6 worlds. If the dragons were always in charge of these lands, why wouldn't they know for certain how much property they own? He also sounds very nervous when talking about it. Now, the homeworlds all have names. There's artisans, peacekeepers, magic crafters, beastmakers, dreamweavers, and Nasty's Nexus. Now, what really perplexes me personally is that the names of the worlds line up perfectly with the inhabitants of those worlds. Artisans has skittish beanie-clad poets, matadors, theatrical performers, and shepherds. Now, since the dragons claim to own these lands, it would make sense that the artists are dragons, right? But they're not. The artists that are living in artisans are all gnorcs and humanoids. I'm not really sure if these shepherds are human or some kind of gnorc. Tell me what you think they are in the comment section down below. But the point is that the land that the dragons claim to hold dominion over very clearly are home to gnorcs. Peacekeepers has soldiers, Magic Crafters has wizards, Dreamweavers is full of gnorcs that would fit in a dreamlike environment. I understand that the Reignited trilogy churched up the dragons to fit the worlds, but I'm just going to be focusing on the original here. Now, the final homeworld is Nasty's Nexus. I believe that this metal island in the middle of a vast ocean is actually a prison that the dragons used to exile Nasty Gnorc after they ransacked the lands. My full theory is that Nasty's scepter has the ability to create portals, which is how he was able to crystallize all of the dragons remotely. Before the dragons took over, he made all the portals to link the levels to the homeworld so that the Gnorcs could travel around more conveniently. The dragons made the mistake of allowing Nasty to keep his scepter since they didn't know what power it actually held and probably just saw it as a normal club. Why not let him keep it if he's going to be far away and not a threat? This is the most glaring piece of evidence I have for this theory. Let's talk about gems. The interviewer in the intro video claims that Nasty has found a spell to turn gems into warriors. Now, to me personally, this is just absolutely absurd reasoning. While yes, this is a fantasy video game and anything is possible, is it not more likely that these gems are actually the payment the Gnorcs received for working for Nasty after his reclamation? Are we not only killing these Gnorcs, but robbing them as well? The dragons in the intro video don't even know how many gems there are in the land. Okay, I understand that him saying 12 or 14,000 gems is really just foreshadowing for the post 100% level, but I'd rather twist those to make my point. If the dragons really had a firm grasp on things, then they would know for certain how many gems they were playing. My last point doesn't really fit with Nasty Gnorc necessarily, but I want to drag the balloons through the mud while I can. I think that the balloonists are crooked as hell. As I said earlier, Nasty most likely has the ability to link areas with portals, so he wouldn't need the balloonists to get the Gnorcs around. But the dragons need alternate forms of transportation, and hence have hired the balloonists. And I think that after the dragons are frozen and are no longer paying these balloonists, they make up their own goofy requirements for Spyro because they're all sociopaths. Especially Tuco. If you want to know why, ask any Vortex % speedrunner. The reason I think that they're all bastards is because they give Spyro these absurd requirements before they will allow him to move along, but they don't actually collect any of it. In Peacekeepers, the guy asks for 1,200 gems to be collected, but he doesn't make you pay him those gems, he's just making you do it for his entertainment. Just like Tuco asked for 5 dragon eggs, but lets you keep them. And the Dreamweavers guy asks for 6,000 gems just for a laugh. It's ridiculous. At least Moneybags in Spyro 2 and 3 has the decency to rip you off properly. With all that being said, I think that it is highly likely that we are actually the bad guy in this game. My final point as to why the dragons are terrible is that all of the dragons that you free at Nasty Nexus were dragons that you freed earlier and then subsequently got recaptured. And some of them don't even remember Spyro from earlier. So not only are they ransacking the land and taking everything from the Gnorcs, they don't even have any respect for their own kind. I mean hell, Alvar in Town Square tells you that there are thieves taking dragon eggs, but then he does nothing to help you collect the eggs after he's been freed. In fact, none of these dragons team up with you once they're freed, which makes them extra scummy in my book. I hope that this video has been eye-opening for some of you, and that you will look at things a little differently the next time you boot up this masterpiece of a game. That being said, don't let it ruin your enjoyment of the game. This has just been an observation and an opinion that I've been sitting on for a while, and I wanted to share my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep an eye out for my next one where I talk about my favorite top 10 flavors of hummus. Until next time, Tower out.